Welcome to the Driver Excuses podcast. This episode will be something very special because, God, do I have some excuses? Because I did fuck up real bad in the race last week.
It's a big fuck up, and you have a lot of excuses to pull out here off the back to remove the blame from you.
Yeah, as we already know, a good race you don't have any excuses, so that makes a bad episode. A bad race, you're gonna have a lot of excuses, which is this podcast is all about. And I guess we have too many bad races because it's called Driver Excuses podcast. But hey, yeah, should we start with my Crandon event?
We'll see if you can keep your excuses within a 10-minute gap. Obviously, everyone listening, you can keep an eye on your podcast screen here to see if Timmy succeeds.
Let's just quick recap what happened. I had a big crash in Crandon in the second semifinal of the day, and I clipped the tire, barrel rolled me over a jump. The tire was on top of the jump, and we were doing 130 kilometers an hour there, flat out jump. And as I clipped the tire, the car flipped upside down in the air, landed on the roof, and just started rolling down the hill. I think I did
just when you see it's spectacular how you flip because it looks sick. You can almost imagine if there was a
ramp to land.
Exactly, a landing.
Yeah.
Travis should have had this championship under his wings. Then it would have been sorted. Then it would have been a perfect landing spot there. So maybe that's something for Travis to pick up in the future. But I mean, it looked incredible, the flip. And then obviously I thought, he's slowing down. It's not too bad. He's just going to stay on his roof. And then you just started flipping 3 laps. Huge chance. And landed. Worst thing, land on your roof in the end. Yeah. So you're hanging there like a I don't know, bat. He was like, can I get out now?
I posted that in-car clip of inside, and the barrel roll, I pray for a while it's gonna land on the wheels. After not too long, I realized it won't, and then I thought it was kind of good. I was sliding on my roof, and then when it started to go, the ground feels so close. The roll cage is not far from your head, and the ground, you're smashing down into the ground with this roll cage. It's all bent here, by the way, above my head. So very grateful for, the roll cage and the safety and all of this that we discussed. When you're in the car and you're just tumbling down the hill, then you're so grateful that it's actually safe.
Yeah, I mean, I had the same feeling when I rolled in Belgium. First, I hit the tire barrier, and then pushed me the other way. And first I thought maybe I'll just slide. And then when it hit, catches and you start flipping, it's when the ground just feels you feel so tiny and what can I do? So in those moments when you realize you're shunting, that, you feel like the most tiny little ant, or just hopeless. I don't think one can ever describe is other than hopeless when you're sitting there and you're literally you're in full control until you're a passenger. And that switch is so scary. And it's just will it ever stop? Will I be okay? Never know.
It's like going to a theme park and going on the worst roller coaster. Just, you don't know if this roller coaster is safe. You don't know. Did I tighten these shoulder straps? You don't know. But so, and as I was tumbling down, the window cracked and I got my mouth full of dirt. Then once I finally stopped, I just Tommy's on the radio. So I went on the radio quite fast to say I'm fine. And I'm in Eldora. America, big truck coming behind.
Service!
Yeah, so we'll get to this. I've got another race this weekend, but let's just get to the excuses part. And I was crawling out the car, mouth full of dirt, feeling like not the hero, if you say it like that.
From hero to zero in a split second.
But to start off from the beginning of the race, let's rewind because I was thinking this race can go so well. I was super fast in practice and in time qualifying again super fast. Jimmy Henderson, who is currently leading the Pro 4 class in the trucks, he's leading there by quite a margin. He's great at that track, and he was going super fast even in the rallycross car. He was the benchmark. I lost qualifying to him by 400ths of a second with a decent gap down to P3. Now we're starting to feel like we've got this in the bag. We'll roll out to Q1 and my rallycross experience then, kicks in a bit. I get a good launch, better than Jimmy Henderson on my left. I take the lead, but that first start was red flag. So this is where all the excuses start. This is where it all goes downhill. So I was leading there. Okay, go back to the start grid, line up again. I knew that I had a good start, so I'm going to do the same. And then Andreas Eriksson, he was the start marshal. He comes to my car and he was like, start pointing under my tire and then telling me to reverse back. I was like, do I have something stuck under there? Like, what's going on? Turns out there was some kind of oil, something running under the car, like a massive flood. And we don't know what it is. And I couldn't start in the restart because, it's leaking. Something's leaking. And if you're missing oil, that's not a great way to run a race car. So I had to go back into the pits. Turns out it was a leak inside the cooling fluid inside the battery was leaking. It's way different design to the Chrysler one, the one that got on fire.
Blew up.
Rest in peace. And it's way different design. Actually, this fluid is the same fluid they put to extinguish a fire from the battery. So there was no risk to this, but it started leaking because internally it was a brand new car, brand new battery. Internally, something wasn't really done up properly. And it had flooded the battery. Suddenly now it's all running out. So we have to change the double batteries in this car. We have to change them both. And that means I'm also missing. So I missed that first Q1. And then I didn't even start the other Q1. The time schedule was a bit weird in this race. So it basically meant that for the rest of the week, I will start at the back of the grid, no matter what I do. So we get to there was then some racing was canceled due to rain. We had to run the semis and the finals for both events on the final day. The first semifinal, I finished third, got to the final. I didn't have my best drive actually in the final. I was choosing a bit some wrong lines. I was going too much in the blue groove down low in the corners where it turned out that the guys who went fast, they were just like higher off the bank and using the grip was like outside just on that berm. Yeah. So I was choosing the wrong lines in the first final, finished fifth. Not
excuse
nothing.
No, excuse
nothing
two
really
actually. First battery and now wrong line. And the starting in the back.
And now we get to the second semifinal. We already know I have to start from the back again. We already know it's going to be difficult, and I know I have to be quite aggressive to go right to advance. So I'm through the first corner. I'm super close to Kevin Eriksson right in front of me. There was no dust issue or anything. It was just that, when you have a car so close, you don't see the road ahead.
Yeah.
And we're coming around this left-hander, like starting to get up to 130 kph. And I was going to try to make a tight jump, like on the left to pass into the next hairpin left. So we're going through that long corner and I start to kind of just look inside of his car. And what I didn't realize were how close that he was already so close to this tire on the inside. Normally the line was a bit further out. So when I look inside, I hit this tire. It's a big tractor tire. And that's what launched me into the air. So yeah, as we said, nothing my fault. I would have won. I would have won if it was all normal.
Yeah.
But what can you do?
When I crashed in Germany in 2018, I had exact same reason. So, but there is obviously was just walls everywhere. And I was following backward. I think I was P3 at the moment. And I just, again, I was just like a little bit tight. And then I would get a little bit, turn to scrub the speed because it was left, right chicane coming up to the top. And I, just touched the inside, but that sent me right out in the barrier and head-on collision and 100 kilometers an hour. And that literally bent the whole chassis back to the behind in the tailgate, like in the boot of the car was bent from one crash in the front. It was nuts. But that's the same reason, just a little bit eager to save some distance, and guy in front also saved some distance.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the same thing, like following, but you want to be a bit faster than the one you're following. Like, yeah. And in those situations, you know that you're taking a risk. Like, you know that you're pushing it. And 9 times out of 10, you get away with taking a risk. But yeah, this was one of those, that 1 in 10 time when the risk, I didn't really know which risk, but you just know it's risky because it's so fast coming up to a jump, like the whole thing I don't see, but I'm staying committed and all of these things. Yeah, this time didn't work out. So now we get to, so after the crash, I've crashed now. And
have you?
I'm thinking the car is a whole write-off, like completely dead. Now we get to the lucky part that actually this car is built in a way that the safety cage around the driver
it's like a Lego.
Bolts off from the chassis.
Kind of.
And you can, so the only damage, if you say, was the 4 corners, the suspension, everything destroyed, all the wheels, and the roll cage above me. But the actual chassis where everything, like the motors are attached, the batteries are attached, like that was actually all right. And all of those expensive parts in the middle were all right. So all we have to do, if you say like that, is to replace the roll cage. It's a massive job. You kind of have to take half the car apart, at least not the whole car.
No.
Now we are in Eldora. If you've seen the backdrop here, it's coming up another race this weekend in Rally X America. We're going straight into it, so it's a big job. I kind of took some time out coming to record this episode from working with the guys. I'm on the spanners. I'm helping them out. I'm doing everything I can. So yeah, so we got to do that now. But once that's fixed, hopefully, I won't have any excuses to make after this event.
Or
at least
what's the purpose of the podcast then? If you don't, so you kind of like try and get a few at least.
Well, it's time that I don't have some excuse now, and that we have a clean weekend. So we were fast. That was like nice. We nailed, like, we got a good setup on the car. I feel very comfortable in this FC1. It kind of suits my driving style, I think. That it feels like I'm just having to drive naturally, and it goes quick. So coming into this weekend, as I said, it's a dirt oval here. Forgot what the championship is called here, but it's those cars with the big wings, those cross cars with the big wings. They run here. They look sick. And we're gonna start, go onto the oval, and then we're gonna do a lap and a half on the oval before then finishing the race by doing one oval turn and onto the infield rallycross part. But I'm actually super excited to run that
cool.
First lap and a half on an oval. Gonna be
it's like
completely new rallycross. Yeah.
Yeah, start side by side. You can go high line. Depends if it's flat out, then maybe you can go high line. But depends how much dirt is moved up there. But when you practice, maybe it would just be loose gravel up there from all the practice runs. If they prep it nicely, it could be quite well run to use the high line as well. But let's see. That's gonna be cool to see.
Yeah, it's gonna be like so different from Crandon, which was an off-road track with massive jumps and bank turns and left and right, and it's a dirt short course. And Crandon, if you don't know it, it's the home of the biggest short course dirt race in America. So they have a massive crowd there, and the track is very famous. So, but that had more jumps than turns, that track. So that was like the jump track. Now we get to the oval track, and then we're gonna finish off the championship a bit later in the year in Canada, which is a classic rallycross track.
That would be exciting to see. Two races out of 6 completed, I guess. Still a lot to happen.
No, but my championship's screwed. That's done.
There you go. That's another excuse.
No, but because I had that bad qualifying, we're running on the old rallycross points format where you get 16 points from qualifying. And I finished last in both qualifying because of this battery failure. So I got no points from qualifying. And then I just got through to the semi, just got through to the final, and then finished 5th. That's not many points. Then I crashed altogether in the next semi. I've got so little points from that weekend that like the championship's over.
Might as well have stayed home and celebrated midsummer at home.
It would have been cheaper, but we did have some fun, I tell you that. Like the track itself was absolutely mega. Like the way you just had to full sand into those turns. Like after that jump where I crashed, we got up to like 150, 160 kph down the hill. Little tap on the brake, pull the handbrake at 140 kilometers per hour, back it in on throttle immediately, use the bank and get the grip in the bank like fully sideways. It's like the car is facing the wrong way. Like you're looking out the side window to see the apex. That sideways. And that was just the fastest way to go. It's absolutely epic. And actually the jumps were a bit too big, but they were also fun. Like they're a feature of the track, and how you jump made a big difference.
I'm glad that it wasn't any, like I said in the previous episode, I thought it could be, when it jumps like that, you push only to the body, and it's not my favorite style of jumps. When you just jump, it becomes a risk. But I'm glad nobody got injured there. So, even you that crashed.
The FC2s had a hard time. I think the jumps were probably a bit too big for the FC2s. They had a lot of damage.
It was the same back in Nitrocross when the RX2 cars raced, and they were jumping and pieces flying everywhere after every jump. I mean, George said, like, I think he still has back problems from Nitrocross.
Yeah, but the FC1 was fine. Like it has way bigger suspension travel, and it was built for Nitrocross, which the whole idea was that massive jumps. So that car, it handled the jumps fine. It was hard, yes. It was like you could definitely feel it. You were jumping to the limit of your body. But I think if you kept jumping lap after lap to the limit of what you could do yourself, you would break the car eventually. Like Jimmy Henderson, who was so fast, the Pro 4 driver, he broke a rear damper. I think he was probably pushing the jumps a bit more. And then the car did fail, but like first you would feel it in your body, then the car would break. So you would like at the end, like the jumps weren't that much lap time in anyway. It was just cool. It was like spectacular.
It's just sometimes it's fun to fly.
And I have to mention, the second final that I did not drive, but I was watching on. Tommy Hallman did an absolutely legendary drive in that final. He was actually last coming into the first corner, and then he made his way up the field, and he was going so fast, making fastest lap after fastest lap of the weekend during that final, and passed Kevin Eriksson for the win in the final corner, by a tenth of a second.
I can't believe Kevin just let that one go. He just went a bit wide. Tommy just went a bit tighter and took it. I'm like, can't do that in the last corner. You do everything to not land someone on the inside. But a really good drive for him, and the most successful, his best result in rallycross. So nice for him to get that success. He's always been there or thereabouts, so nice for him to get that W.
Yeah, he's been like the young driver who's performed so well, and now he's finally up in the top class, and he's showing he's still fast. So he will be fast again. He'll be one to look out for. But I love, sometimes you see that performance when someone just does something unbelievable, and and Tommy did that in that final, and to actually tie it up with actually winning on side by side over the line. It was
what a feeling.
Actually epic.
It must have been like a euphoric moment to have a race like that. When you have a great race and then you get paid off with a good result. He had like the ultimate, like the version of bad initial, that dream story to win. That's really nice.
Yeah, it's like when you're a kid and you play with your toy cars, and everyone's been a kid, and like, this is me at the back and I overtook everyone. Like, he kind of had that one in real life. So that's the dream.
Well done. And that's some great motorsport news. Running on to more motorsport news. Formula One is back this weekend, going into a back-to-back. I don't know, maybe it's a triple header. It's Austria F1 at the Red Bull Ring. I think everything's up for grabs. Again, it's such a different track. It's really short carnage in qualifying, 22 cars. It's going to be a really hectic weekend.
Yeah, it will be. Are we going to see Kimi Antonelli win again? Can Russell bounce back to close the gap in the championship? Can he turn his form around? Can Red Bull start to go fast? So we can see Verstappen up there again. Can Hamilton win?
Is it the 8th world title year? That's the question.
Yeah, Hamilton's coming now. This is his title year now.
The GOAT is here.
The GOAT is coming. The GOAT had enough of not winning. Now
he shaved his beard a bit, the GOAT beard, and now he's crawling forward and gonna make it. I'm really excited. It's always a very entertaining race, and when it's such a short track, I don't know, maybe it's a sprint weekend, I can't remember. It's gonna be really fun to see. I guess for you, and you can wake up in the morning and you can have a look on the race before racing, which would be nice.
Yeah, I'm also in America, so I'm watching the Football World Cup a little bit, like, without staying up all night.
Yeah, of course.
That's kind of fun.
Let's not mention either England or Sweden's latest games. England lost against Ghana 0-0, and Sweden lost 1-5 to Netherlands. So let's not mention that. Let's hope it's improving from this point. But I think it's going to be.
Let's put on our Scandinavian T-shirt and just root for Norway a little bit. Should we do that?
Called root for Norway. That is never happening ever in my life. You cannot cheer for Norway. I'm from Sweden.
Such a cool thing with the rowing thing. Like, I want
but there's nothing to do with. No, yes. You remember when the Iceland did the volcano?
Yeah,
that was also
they got the same now. Norway.
But we're not cheering for Norway. You can't drop that low. No. I'm putting in my brotherly veto here and saying no.
Okay.
It's not happening.
I'm not rooting for Norway.
Everyone listening
they're gonna
must
lose
agree.
Next time. Yeah, they've just been lucky anyway.
Imagine if it's Sweden, Norway in the quarterfinals or something. I did see a prediction where Sweden might, face off France if we go through in the round of 16. So then it's all over. It would be cool if we ended up in the same game. And then it's a proper Scandinavian Viking fight.
Yeah, Sweden's got an all right team, but if we make it through the group, I think the whole country will be very happy, and then anything would be a bonus after that.
We're the youngest. We're the youngest squad I think we had for many years. I mean, front line is very strong. Very neat to know everything about football, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
classic.
Such a football fan. Give
It's
us all
classic.
your football knowledge now, dude.
Yeah, I know. It's
All
really
the
Isaac
insights.
there. You get us on the front, Arsenal player.
Fantastic. Yeah. All right. Let's not talk too much football. I guess they also have their excuses. I guess.
Of course.
What's a football excuse?
He hit me. Perfect. There you go. He fouled
Yeah.
me. He stood on my foot.
Yeah.
The steward did the wrong decision.
The referee was wrong.
Yeah.
That's the most. That is the football excuse. Yeah. The referee.
Sure.
Yeah.
Loads of excuses. Maybe we get a footballer on there. If you get Haaland, get him on if you like Norway that much. Then you can cheer for him.
Haaland on here.
Yeah. You want to come to driver excuses? So what do you mean driver excuses?
It's a massive podcast. With a podcast everybody's talking about. Yeah. The driver excuses podcast.
After that episode, everyone would. It'd be like, what's happening here? Has he lost his mind? But quickly, for sure, who do you think is going to be in the final in the World Cup, and who's going to win?
France will win.
Who are they playing against in the final? Well, it's kind of like, we could say completely wrong because we don't know which sides people like. There's two sides, where you go through the tree, but you can say and
go with Argentina, reigning champions.
It's a replay of the 22 game. Yeah,
it is. Yeah, then it will be the same.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not going to happen. It's not going to be a replay. What's the odds of that? It's like nothing. I'm wrong. But anyway, whatever I predict in football is going to be wrong. So
so France won't win. It's incredible.
Sorry, France. I spoiled it.
I think we're gonna go with a bit different. I think we're gonna see Brazil, England in the final. But I think Brazil might win.
You're not English now because you.
No, I'm not English, but it's a bit more of a energy when there's 65 million people, getting absolutely pissed and screaming at their team. It's quite good energy.
Yeah, you bet. Every local pub in the whole country must be absolutely.
For sure. Even like the fancy ones where we are, they're showing it, and they never have a screen on. So it's football fever here. So I do think, we can call it. Maybe it's coming home to England this year. That would be fun. So they're playing well, but who knows? It's I love the World Cup because there's all tension on the line, and just sit there for 2 hours and then it's done. You don't have to sit, for example, like the WRC with this weekend, which is, you have to sit for 4 days to know. Yeah, and I guess it's not quite the same hype around the WRC in Greece, but we're motorsport fans. I'm going to be watching it. Yeah. Will Oliver stop hitting everything around him and, blossom in his talent and win Greece? Greece is one of the toughest. It's so physical on the cars. One of the test tracks in Fontainebleau, where we test all off-road cars, they normally, sometimes when they go test for rough rallies, they go with the WRC cars to a Dakar testing round. And Greece is that testing base. So it's going to be a really tough, it's hot. It's going to be really, really intense on the cars with all the stones and the heavy dust. It's going to be a real challenge for co-pilot and drivers. But I think Elvin Evans has done a really strong year. He's going to be up there for sure. It's always a Toyota battle. The Hyundais, I don't think, is going to be, unfortunately, anywhere near the battle. Even if Thierry won recently, I think it's a Toyota battle home to the finish. Yeah, they're incredibly strong this year, Toyota. And they're still in the game. You never know in these difficult rallies. They're not so far off that they can't win, but they have to get a bit lucky. Reliability. Reality show? Reality. Kim Kardashian. Lewis Hamilton. Champion. Coming home. Yeah, champion. Lewis Hamilton. But this took a spiral. Connections. It's clear. He's going to win. It's coming home. Lewis, Ogier wins Greece. There you go. Two goals. Done. That's the prediction for the weekend. Ogier, Hamilton will hopefully come back next week with some nice excuses. Hopefully Timmy doesn't roll again. No excuses next time. I'm going to clean sweep this thing. I'm going to have not a single excuse. Not a single bad start. Wow, okay. Fine. Yeah. Okay. You heard it here. Wait a week and you will see if Timmy has excuse there. I guess you can keep an eye on his socials. There won't be any. We'll leave you guys to it. Enjoy all your weekend. Give a like and subscribe. A comment with what you think about the World Cup and Timmy's chances of not having an excuse. And we'll catch you next week.